Ay, sarap gumising. Sarap maging Pinoy. So, in today's event, we love to see everyone on the news and the Facebook. We love to see everyone being united with a single Hidilyn's. Nagets? Philippines just got gold on Olympics for the first time in 97 years. So, for today's series, I will try to be consistent on this series. I will name it Lift to Uplift, kung saan gusto ko talagang gawin before but I don't have the tools, techniques, and time for it. So on this, I will highlight or I will give headlines about the lifting scenes in the Philippines and give updates where are we heading. So by the way, I'm Paul Robert. I'm a physical therapist based in Philippines. So let's cut the chase and move on to the headlines. Way back 2019, I was fortunate enough to train with Team HD camp, with Coach Kirwin Gao and Coach Julius and with Hidilyn. And also in the sides, Rowan Beltran and also Jose Dayao. She's surrounded with these great people and just being with her, training with her, parang nafe-feel mo talaga yung energy niya, yung cues niya and magbigay siya ng mga tips how to make your def efficient. It's really helpful. So that is who she is, and sobrang passionate niya on teaching and also on weightlifting as a sport. Ginagawa niya talaga every day, and a lot of her interviews lagi niya sinasabi na I just love to lift. Ganun lang, pinapaulit pa na paulit. And she really does and does the work, There's this moral story that as a physical therapist and someone who is working on the sides. First is dream with divine intervention, So, yun nga, sinasabi nila, na on this picture, for example, na where we saw her hands na sobrang kalyo and sobrang kulay gold. We have this quote na nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa sa Pinoy, So it really portrays this story, and she's living testament or proof that this quote is really true, that we need to work hard and sacrifice. When I mean by sacrifices, knowing her, she left Zamboanga to train. And as yung culture natin as Pinoy, di ba? We are close family ties type of having a culture, and being away from her amang and apang is sobrang sentimental siya. When we talk about the parent side, especially sa interviews niya, she gets emotional. So look how we can appreciate na we need hard work and sacrifice for it to be achieved, So dream with divine intervention. So she always prayed na, especially during this pandemic, she's not afraid to be a living testament, and she's proud. She even wore nagsuot siya ng medal, and also a medal from a Roman Catholic medal. So in this moral story, whatever your faith, whatever your beliefs, divine intervention is really important, because in the end of the day, if you have this physical strength, healthy yung isip mo, yung utak mo, and healthy yung kinakain mo, and then makatulog ka ng maayos sa gabi, with those all aspect, your recovery is faster, your mental attitude, your mental awareness, your focus. Pag gini-give up mo lahat sa taas, it will all become. So next is, it takes a village. We always romanticize this statement or this news na she won 30 plus million with house and lot and with this commissions, and on top of 30 million, marami pa siyang prizes that she won, But it takes a village. When we come to realize na she went there in Tokyo with her coach, with her two coach actually, and a sports nutritionist and sports psychologist. So it takes a village. So that 30 million, hindi ganun ka taas yung value for something that took 12 years, di ba? So if we just calculate 12 years or 13 years to achieve this dream divided by 30 million, that's that's still something, pero we as a consumer of this idea and also a normal person, we think it's big, but definitely for an athlete it's not. Why? Because in an athlete standpoint, hindi siya ganun ka-sustainable. This amount of money is that important because in the end of the day, katawan yung puhunan ng isang athlete. So meron lang siyang peak, yung isang kapasidad ng isang tao, bababa din yung peak as we age. When we think of this amount, we should think about how she can sustain this. Okay? In the end of the day, we want all to put food in the table. So imagine it takes a village. This 30 million, no, it goes to the coaches. I know for sure her physios. I know for sure her sports nutritionist and sports psychologist, because I know Hidilyn Diaz, hindi niya tinitake for granted ang ibang tao. What I mean by that is when we had a session na wala talaga siyang budget for physio, for personal. Although we must admit POC has their own physio team, pero sa kadami-daming athlete na tinitreat din ng mga physio there, kailangan din siya na magkaroon ng focus sa isang physio and an Olympian. So what I mean by this is she's a kind of person that doesn't take anyone for granted, and she paid me, and I told her that okay, if you're gonna pay, just pay for what I can bring on the table naman pag uwi ko. So transportation is good for me, and also food is good for me, because I know I really believed in her during the time that she can make it on the Olympics. It's more of appreciating her greatness. So it takes really a village, and I know 30 million will not go straight to her pockets, but on her village, her team, also syempre sa parents niya. Okay. Lastly will be the moral story here is we are united as a country, as a Filipino, here and abroad. So when she won, everyone was posting about it. We were proud, and whatever gender, whatever religion came to share and post about her. Only shows that we are united in sports. And I want to quote this from, ito ang sabi ni Nelson Mandela: sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sport can create hope where once there was only despair. So imagine that in the time that we're in a pandemic and everyone is not acknowledging sports or not giving importance to physical activity, everyone is not seeing the importance of athletes, she lifted it and proved it that it is important and we can unite as a country for this. I guess yun yung mga moral story that we can learn from her winning, and we should appreciate that. And also, do not forget that she's only human as well. Syempre, yung mga criticisms, she can only take a lot of that, and kaya niyang, as much as possible, kaya niyang baliwalain. Pero at some point, she will be affected. Her parents will be affected. So when we send criticisms, when we write criticisms about her, put it on a constructive way or into critical thinking, why she spoke about it, why she spoke about the sports, why she spoke about the inequality, or the opportunity or chances that we can have. Alright, for the next part, we will talk about the future of lifters and who will we gonna watch out for. So here, this is the main headlines actually for this lift is to share and to highlight these people. And I hope in the future, and I ask you guys to like and subscribe this channel, and seeing one likers, one subscribers a day will make me inspired and continue making this if you want to continue these stories and headlines. Next for us is Kawika Henderson. So Kawika Henderson is a CrossFitter based in Arizona. He's also a political candidate in states and also a gym owner and a coach. And he's representing the Philippines for the NoBull CrossFit Games. So let's send him, let's follow him, and let's appreciate what will he can do for the country to represent us. No? The next will be Jose Diaz. Jose Diaz will be competing as a power lifter. I know Jose Diaz is a determined lifter, and also his father really supports him. Boss Cyril, I appreciate you and thank you for making and breaking the stigmas about kids lifting and powerlifting, no? Na okay lang magbuhat kahit bata pa. And I salute you to be a good coach to your sons and daughter. Daya will compete again for powerlifting, I guess in Sweden, and it's in September. So that's someone to look out for. He's emerging young star for the lifting scenes. Also, a youngster again, Vanessa Sarno. Vanessa Sarno is a weightlifter. She recently won in Asian Games, and she's just 19, I guess, or 17. I'm gonna check about it. I know we can see more about her in weightlifting scene in the future, so that's something to look out for. And next will be Matthew Kobe Joe from Davao, and from Cagayan de Oro, Joshua Craig Chabon. So they're the emerging stars in the CrossFit scene, and these two are very close to me. Shout out to Kobe Joe, thank you, and WodX. So thank you for sending this love from the shirt. No, really appreciate it. Next up will be Matt Imperial. Okay, so those people or those rising stars, you're gonna watch out for, and we're gonna cheer and look forward for the bigger scenes and the lifting scenes of Philippines. And for the last one pala, Joyce Reboton. I'm not that well updated, and I hope in the future I will give more research and contents and more stories about these future stars. Joyce Reboton is making big waves already in powerlifting scenes, so I hope we support her and all these athletes and follow their socials so we are updated as well, seeing their hard work every day. So that's it for today, and I hope you like and subscribe this, and see you on the next highlights.